In today's video, I've got an eyewear collection that you have probably never seen before, an eyewear collection that is made using real leather. Real leather on eyewear, stingray skin, iguana skin, stone, real stone. I've got something special today. I'm welcoming a new brand to the Hicks Brunson Eyewear family. Today on the channel, we're going to be talking about Lucas de Stael eyewear out of Paris. Don't go anywhere. How's everybody doing? It is your friendly neighborhood optician, Daniel Brunson, and on this channel, I like to talk about my favorite indie eyewear brands, cool things you can do with lens technologies, like custom tinted transitions, lenses. So I thank you so much for being here today. If you want to see more content like that and you're not already a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. All right, now let's get into it. Today, as mentioned in the intro, I'm talking about Lucas de Stael eyewear out of Paris. I got a chance to catch up with Luca earlier in 2025 at the Loft Eyewear Show in New York City. I got to meet Luca and his team, and I got to experience their new beautiful leather eyewear collection. And I do want to say, I hope I'm saying his name right, because I actually asked him how to pronounce his name when I was at the New York show. I thought it was Lucas de Stael. I specifically asked him how to say his name. He explained to me de Stael is correct. Some people say de Stael because it looks like Raphael, but it's not Diel, de Stael. It is de Stael. I thought he heard me saying Lucas. Maybe he didn't, and maybe that's why they didn't correct me. But I have since heard two other people online referring to him as Lucas de Stael, even though Lucas is spelled L-U-C-A-S. So apologies if I'm getting the name wrong. I reached out to them, but they are on summer break in France that began today or yesterday and goes through the end of August. So I'll get it right in future videos if I got it wrong here, or if you know in the comments, let me know. All right, now let's get into it. We're talking about this beautiful leather eyewear collection, handmade in Paris, beautiful materials. You've never seen anything like this, I promise you. Eyewear made of leather, eyewear made of stone, stingray skin, iguana skin, the things they're doing, nobody else is doing. Luca's background was in industrial design, not in eyewear design, so he approached the idea of eyewear design differently than other spectacle makers, and he's talked about that in the past. And so it's really fascinating to get to hear how he creates and see how he creates these very beautiful pieces. They use different kinds of leather skin. They use a lot of cow leather. They do use some goat leather, and as mentioned, stone, stingray, iguana. They even use wood and alligator. And then they have a lot of different types of leather that have embossed textures, which I will show you, that look like crocodile skin, but they're actually made of leather. Their leather comes from French cows and is tanned in Italy using vegetable products. The interesting thing about leather, as many of you may know, is it will gain a patina over time. It will darken over time depending on the pH and the acidity of the skin and with exposure to UV rays. And so there are some treatment ways we can treat the leather to kind of prevent that from happening, but once that happens, you can't reverse that process. So as I mentioned, the cow leather is tanned with vegetable products. It's free of chrome and therefore does not pose any risk of allergy. And they also use stingray skin, which in French is pronounced galoucha. It's also known as shagreen, and it is a type of leather made from the skin of stingrays or sharks, and it's characterized by its unique pearly and slightly rough texture. And these galoucha skins come from Indonesian and Sri Lankan seas, and the flesh of this fish is actually a food product. Stingray skin is transformed into shagreen in a traditional artisanal French process. Many stages of sanding silica pearls on its surface are needed to carry out the metamorphosis of this skin into a polished and shiny mosaic. The finish of the stripes of the frame highlight a pearly and graphic texture of the galoucha. Then there's the beautiful stone finished frames, and these stones, this is a very amazing process. Eyewear made of stone, I almost couldn't believe it when I first heard about it. Their stones are sourced from all around the world. They're natural, they're not subject to any treatment. The stone preserves its irregularities, which adds to the beauty and the uniqueness of the frames. With time, slate will darken, and it will gain contrast, giving the spectacles the appearance of whetstone. And their layers of stone are remarkably thin and thus flexible and resistant on the frames. And there are some special care procedures one needs to understand when cleaning lenses in stone, because stone surfaces can have tiny fragments that would fall off, and you wouldn't want to scratch the surface of your lenses. So it's actually recommended you blow on the surface of the stone frames to blow away any possible debris, and then use a wet, damp cloth and gently wipe the lenses, being careful not to rub onto the surface of the stone. One of the other materials, skins, that is used is iguana, and this is really fun. Some fun, cool colors and designs. The natural beauty of iguana skin design enhances the frames. The skins provide a smooth and soft surface that combines perfectly with the cow leather lining the interior of the frames. And iguana leather comes from breeding farms in Indonesia and is regulated by the Washington Convention. So similar to cow leather, iguana leather will gain patina and darken over time, depending on the pH and acidity of the skin, with exposure to UV rays as well. All right, so now let's take a look at some of the beautiful frames in this collection. The first model that I'm going to show you is very interesting. I have it as both an optical and a sunglass, and it's called Eclipse. And this one really showcases, you might wonder, like I had questions about some of these leather frames when I first looked at them, like how are these frames stable enough to wear? How are they sturdy enough? Well, they have a metal wire core inside the leather, which it gives them their stability and their strength. And this one you can actually see, because this model is called Eclipse, and you can see why it's called Eclipse. There's a leather outer rim with a smaller inner rim that actually holds the glasses lenses in place, and you can see that the metal, the way it is attached, it actually does go inside the leather back here. You can see there are metal hinges, so there's quite sturdy metal hinges here. As an optician of 25 years, I've always been very critical of hinge designs and frames. If you don't have a good hinge design, just invites all kinds of headaches down the road. The hinges that are poor quality will break. They won't hold their stability as well. So you've got good metal hinges, and with this piece, the Eclipse, this is probably not a piece that is for everybody. This is a little more unique and bold with the double rim floating out front kind of lens design, but I think it's so artistic and so nice. And this is a leather color. This is cow leather, and I think this color they call nuts. This is a very light color leather, just a very nice true leather look, but they also have a black leather. And so this is the sunglass version of the Eclipse, and this is actually a black leather that's got a smooth leather finish on the interior, but unlike the other one I showed you, this has a croco embossed leather on the exterior. So it kind of has a crocodile pattern right there, and I have some other pieces that I'll show you that are thicker frames that have that croco embossed pattern that'll show it off a little better. But check out how cool this looks as a sunglass. I just love this. Like, this is one of the coolest looking sunglasses I've seen in a long time, just from an artistic, unique kind of standpoint. Nice gray gradient lenses. And I should point out about these frames, they're super comfortable. Leather is one of those materials, if you've ever owned, a pair of leather gloves or, leather clothing, it's really comfortable on the skin. It just kind of warms to the skin. It feels really comfortable to wear because the frames are made on a sort of a flat sheet metal, like similar to how a 0G frame is constructed. The frames are super lightweight. So we have all kinds of beautiful pieces here. There's a whole series called Minotaur, and many of these Minotaur frames have split colors on the front. So this has a black leather interior, mostly black leather on the exterior, but then it has more of an orangey color leather on that upper outer corner there. And this is a fun shape. I really like this. Bigger, bolder, unique with the split colors. And many or most or all of these frames can be ordered custom. And I didn't mention this when I met with the Lucas de Stael or Lucas de Stael team in New York in early 2025. All of the pieces that I bought to stock, it took them about 4 months to build all of these by hand in their Paris workshop. About 4 months to build all of this stock and then send it over to us. So these are truly handmade pieces, and they can be made custom to order. So you can pick your leather colors. You could say, I want this shape with different leather colors. And matter of fact, there's a whole swatch system of different colors that you can choose from. There's that croco embossed color I told you about, but they also have it in this beautiful red color. Yeah, this beautiful red color in the Croco embossed. So lots of color options, but wait till I show you this next one. So this same model, I wanted to get it in one of their beautiful Stingray skins. And if you've never seen Stingray skin, there's a little bit of it right here. So this is the same model. This is a sunglass version of the same model I just showed, with a blue gradient lens tint and a blue Stingray, like a turquoise color Stingray skin on that upper outer corner. And you look at Stingray skin, I explained earlier in the video that it has to be polished to get it down to this smooth surface, and it looks like lots of small little dots. It just has this really cool kind of shimmery effect. And I just love the way you can combine it, especially when you do that kind of turquoise Stingray next to the black leather, and then you do the blue gradient lens tint. That is a beautiful sunglasses look. And then I have another very amazing one here. This is also part of the Minotaur collection. It's a split leather and exotic skin. This is Iguana. So you see the difference in Iguana. It has a little bit more of a pattern rather than the small kind of pebbly look. It's got this sort of, well, it looks more embossed, like an embossed kind of pattern in the Iguana. And this like hot pink and black just really sets the look. Contrast, color, bold, super fun, bigger frame, but ultra comfortable. You've heard me talk about, you know, good quality frames have been designed well, they fit comfortably on the bridge. You know, the bridges of the acetate frames that are more sculpted or more comfortable. The work that they are doing at the Lucas de Stael factory to produce a full leather frame that is also sculpted like these are and to fit comfortably on the nose is quite remarkable. Every one of these pieces that I tried on when I was exploring the collection at Market in New York, and when I tried on once we got them in here, they're all very comfortable on the bridge of the nose. They're very comfortable around the back of the ear. Because they have a metal core, they're adjustable, just like all, you know, acetate and metal frames are. So let's take a look at some other colors. I'm still showing the Minotaur series. This is a great example of how you can do kind of a two-tone color. So if you want like a really nice hot red color within like a different kind of brown inlay color, you can do something like this. More of a woman shape, like a rounded kind of cat eye, very uplifting, very fun, very comfortable like everything else. And then now I want to share, I talked about earlier that Croco embossed leather. So we're still looking at cow leather here, but this has a embossed look that makes it look like crocodile skin. So how cool is that? And they can also be done with adjustable nose pads. So here I have, this is the same frame model, but an example of an optical one with adjustable nose pads, and then this one down below, the sunglass one, without adjustable nose pads. And so here, the black leather with the Croco embossed color, and here you have the brown leather with the Croco embossed texture, I should say, texture. So, and this is a fun shape, right? Like a little bit edgy, a little bit cat eye. Check out the lens color. I love this lens color. Why do I love this lens color so much? I mean, gosh, the Croco embossed leather in this shape with this kind of red-yellow double gradient tint is just like electric, awesome. And then I put my regular glasses back on, and then I realized, oh yeah, my Bali to watermelon tint, a little bit similar. Like no wonder I feel like right at home in this. Although this red color, a little more like a racing red, like a bold red in this color lens tint here. Definitely like lights up the landscape a little more in a reddish tinge. So really beautiful piece here. Let's see. Let's look at another very interesting piece in the Minotaur series, and then I'll show you some other, the Bold series. I'm going to show you the stone eyewear, so stick around for just a moment for that. This piece I absolutely love. This is in the Minotaur series. This is model Reg 06, and this is an example of something very interesting that they can do with these leather pieces. They can do two different leather colors on the front. So you see these have, like this one here I'm holding has a black bridge and hinge area with kind of a dark red eye wire rim on the front. and then the whole inner side is black leather. This is the same model, but it has a dark brown leather rim, Eyewire rim, and then a light leather hinge and bridge area, and then a light leather inlay. And so that's the way you can, and you could do different colors. So you saw those color swatches that I showed earlier. You could choose one leather color for the wire rim and a different leather color for the bridge and hinge area and temple arms. I love this shape. I gotta say, this Reg 06, I mean, this is kind of a nice P3 shape with a keyhole bridge. I should also point out, this might be difficult to see on the video, there are 2 different bridge sizes for every model. So this one on the top is the B bridge, and this one on the bottom is the A bridge. And the B bridge is a little narrower in here. The A bridge is a little bit wider up in there that fits the space between the bridge area on your nose. So if you tend to have a broader nose and you need a wider bridge fit, then you can use the A bridge. If you tend to have a narrower nose and frames sit a little lower on you, you can order your frame in the B bridge and you can get a bridge that's more custom to your own nose. All right, let's take a look at some of these other pieces here. Let's take a look at another sunglass. This is the Zeppelin series, and this one's just a fantastic sunglass. This is model Z06S, and this is a black leather crocodile embossed on the front. And look at this red leather interior inlay. Like, I picture somebody, maybe if you have a car that has a cool, like, I'm thinking of a client right now that he loves his car with his red leather interior. I feel like, you know, anyone who kind of is in that mode of like leather, where you like that kind of stuff, like you could have matching red leather to match on your eyewear if you had like a black car with red leather interior. This is a beautiful sunglass, a little bit bigger, coverage is good, but just like every other piece, smooth and sculpted, comfortable bridge fits. This series, the Zeppelin, I think the Zeppelin series is characterized by, you'll see there's sort of a lip that sticks out up away from the surface of the front that kind of creates an interesting textured, sculpted, contoured front piece there. So I'm going to show you a few other pieces in the Zeppelin series. There's some cool, smaller, kind of vintage cat eye styles in the Zeppelin series. This is model, looks like Z07, and this is the B bridge. So this is going to be small on my face and on my bridge. But this one is the standard leather, just the standard cow leather, brown leather, smooth finish. And then they have a fish scale embossed texture that they can do to the leather. So this is an example of that. It's got the standard smooth leather on the inside and on the temple arms, but then the front has the fish scale embossed. This is the sunglass version of the same frame in the darker brown leather with the fish scale embossed leather on the front. And, they're fish scale embossed on the temple arms on both of these models as well. So the entire outer area has a fish scale embossed leather. Ooh, that's quite a nice sunglass tint. That's kind of a gradient ruby, amethyst kind of, not ruby, more amethyst, more purple tone kind of lens tint. So fish scale embossed leather. I just love all of the textures that they can do, and I marvel at these handmade frames and the things they're capable of doing with the leather. I've got a couple more pieces here to show. I think these are actually part of the Minotaur series, but I saved them for last because they're so unique. These also really show that how these frames, how I explained, they have a metal core. So the leather is wrapped and securely, carefully fitted over the metal core in the creation of these frames. This one you can see the metal core exposed on the top. I like this shape design. I like different things, like this is a reverse what you normally see, where normally if you have acetate and metal, where it's half and half. It's like the horn rim style or the brow line style that I've talked about so much over the years, where it's thick rim on the top, thin rim on the bottom, flipped upside down. This is like the T. Henry Nettuno, where you've got the wire rim on the top and the thicker rim on the bottom. And so this is model Reg 24. And so the one that I'm wearing, this is the black leather, and I forget what they call, let's see, I think Picari embossed. So there's a type of embossing that I hadn't gotten to yet of all the ones I've shown. This one looks like a very textured, sort of like raw finish, and they call it Picari embossed, P-E-C-A-R-I. And I looked this up last night, and I think they may be referring to, there's a pig-like creature called a Picari. So I'm not sure if that's what they're referring to, if the skin of that animal is maybe kind of reminiscent of this, but it's like a little bit of I don't know how to describe this. It's almost like a rough kind of, stone look is kind of what it looks like. Little tiny little pits in it. It's very beautiful. And then the other color that I got in this model is this beautiful blue crocodile. I say croco, C-R-O-C-O is what all the samples say, short for crocodile embossed leather. And I mean, just look how cool these are. Imagine what you could do with styles like these. You could do a light blue tint, maybe like the light blue tint from this frame that I showed earlier. You could do something like this in this. Maybe you could do a flash blue mirror on a transition sapphire color lens. Would be phenomenal in a frame like this. Or no color at all, because you could rock it clear like this, and a frame with the crocodile embossed blue leather, half and half, wire rim up top. It almost needs no additional sizzle factor to make it cool. It is cool all on its own. So these are such cool pieces that, the sky is the limit on what you might want to do customization wise. I have one more style to show you, and then I want to show you some cool leather cases. But there's a bold collection, and I have a couple of those right here. This is model 01 in the bold collection, I think, B01. Nice thick rim. Let me show it to you right here. Nice sculpted temple design. I love, look how thick this rim is. I mean, that's probably about a 15 millimeter rim front thickness. And look how cool these look on. I can imagine all kinds of things you could do with the lens tint. I mean, these would make great sunglasses. They would make great transitions lenses, a graphite green or an emerald green, especially in this black and brown combo. And then here is a crocodile embossed brown leather version of the same thing. Absolutely beautiful. All right, now I want to share with you some of the most artistic and most complicated pieces that they make in the Lucas de Stael factory, some of the stone eyewear. So I'm going to start with one of the Minotaur pieces. This is mostly black colored cow leather, but look at this right here in that upper outer corner. That is stone, and they take the stone and they shave it down into thin pieces, and they create sheets of it, sheets of stone. But you can see it shimmering in the light, and it creates such a beautiful look. It's amazing how they're able to craft it into these thin sheets that gives it the flexibility that you need to make it a good eyewear frame. And look how good that color looks, and it's got this nice texture. This is a color of stone that is called dark granite, and I have a couple other ones here to show you. This is the same dark granite color in a lady's cat eye shape, and this has the stone all along the front. And this is the Zeppelin. This is the Zeppelin series, which has that much thicker rim. Like front thickness is very thick, so it has this nice like contoured lip. It's a beautiful design to make the to show as as a stone eyewear piece. So this is eyewear that is so unique. Just nobody that I've seen anywhere in the world, I don't think, is doing anything like this. So if you wanted something, you know, very rare, very unique, this Lucas de Stael stone eyewear is absolutely a beautiful collection to look into. I have a third frame here with the stone, and this is a stone color that they call copper. And you can see why here. The entire front surface is stone, the entire back surface is leather, and then the temple arms are leather. So the copper color stone, very beautiful and clean and earthy, and just probably, you know, this color would be so easy to wear with so many different, this would be like having a tortoiseshell color frame. Just a very, very remarkable material that they are working with in stone on eyewear. Stone and leather and iguana and stingray, just very, very fun, exotic materials to work with. So Lucas de Stael also has leather cases that you can purchase separately. They come with a nice hard case, but you can purchase a beautiful leather case separately. This is the crocodile embossed brown leather. I like this style of case with the little kind of button enclosure right here, and there you can see that nice leather on the inside. And one of the things I didn't set the stage probably well enough when I started, anytime you open a box with these frames in it, you get that leather smell. You know, it's like when that nice new car leather interior smell, you get that new leather jacket. It's a very familiar, nice, kind of good feeling leather smell. This appears to be, this is another case that we have here. Same style of case, and it's that Picari embossed leather. Maybe you can see it a little better on the case since the case is so much bigger. It's that kind of almost stone-like surface to it. So those are some of the leather cases you can get. All right, so there you have it. That was Lucas de Stael. Beautiful leather collection, leather, stone, iguana, stingray. Amazing different types of leather finishes, very comfortable frames. Let me know what you think about this collection. We're happy to have recently welcomed it here to the Hicks Brunson Eyewear family, and we're excited to begin sharing it with our clients as I have just shared it with all of you. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, if you'd subscribe to the channel, it really helps what we do here. If you want to have your own pair of glasses made in any kind of custom way or shop some of the most unique frames from all around the world, I invite you to check out our website online at hicksbrunson.com, and I will see you in the next video.